Hello and welcome to my little video tour of the Highway 7 Interchange. It's a plaza located on the northeast corner of Highway 7 and 400 in Vaughn, Ontario, Canada. When it opened, the main attraction to this plaza was the AMC 30 theaters. It was a large multiplex featuring, 30 screens. It opened in May of 1999 and closed in May of 2014. Almost exactly 14 years, I'm guessing maybe to the day. I can't find an exact opening day, but later on you'll see the exact closing day once I get closer to the building. On the walk up, you can definitely see a design theme between the plaza area and the AMC theater. They use the same sort of color palette. It was definitely designed all together at once, and the AMC theater being the main showpiece, the main attraction, the end cap to the experience of going to the Interchange. For a building that's been closed for about 4 years, it is in surprisingly great condition. In my little walk around, I didn't see any graffiti, no broken windows, no signs of it being tampered with. Even all the poster boxes on the side of the building, they were all in great condition considering they've been exposed to the elements and no upkeep for at least 4 years. I almost get the sense that it doesn't feel like this place has been closed for so long. It's as if it was just closed yesterday, or it's just closed for the morning and they're gonna open the doors any minute now and it's back in business. In this shot, you can almost get a sense for how large the courtyard is to this plaza. They had definitely designed it with the intention of making it a hub for entertainment and a night out for those in the area, where they could come in the late afternoon, maybe catch a movie, then head over to one of the restaurants, or vice versa. Here we see a note posted on this window, as well as you'll see it on several other windows. A note thanking people for their patronage and notifying them that they will be closing on Thursday, May 8th, as well as instructions for Gold Card members to mail in their passes for refunds. Another thing you can notice are these large black divider walls that they've installed here, and just giving the doors a little check to see if maybe someone neglected to lock them. They were locked. But you see these large black divider walls, making sure so people, no looky-loos, can see what's going on in there. What treasures may lie inside, what kind of time capsule is in there. And that is in every single window or door that you encounter around the building. Here I am walking up towards one of the exits, and you'll see in a bit just what I'm talking about when I say the grounds are in excellent condition. You would think that someone might have come by and tried to damage those boxes, as the case with so many buildings I've seen just in my area, where if a building's been closed for any period of time, people just seem to come by and start breaking stuff just because. Just some delinquent teens or some unstable adults, who knows. Some people just seem to get off on that kind of stuff. Personally, I go by the old trail mantra of leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but photographs. So here I am. I'm not even leaving any footprints because it is a beautiful Saturday afternoon in September, abnormally warm for the season. So I'm just taking photos, a little video, several photos in succession. Here we see those black dividers again. Trying to get a little peek around to see if maybe I can see something. Nope, it's too dark. From here you can look out onto the IKEA parking lot, which was actually an addition to the plaza in about 2003 is when it opened. I found an online ad posting for the celebration of the grand opening of IKEA Vaughn on July 30th, 2003. So today that is probably the main draw to this area, generating a lot of traffic. However, most of it just sort of passes by the little plaza community that they have going on. From this view, standing in the middle of the courtyard, you can really get a sense of just how large this building is. And it really hits me then just how crazy it is that this place has been shuttered for 4 years now, sitting, I assume, empty. I don't know if anything's going on in there. Maybe there's some offices, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's been in use, but someone seems to be taking care of it. It was at this point I decided to direct my attention more towards the plaza community, I want to call it. I'd actually never walked around in this area in all the years I have passed by it and times I have visited the IKEA, or that one time I went to go see Napoleon Dynamite at the AMC Theater. And it's almost a surreal feeling as I walk through this area. I attribute that feeling mainly to the color palette they chose to work with. To me, it just looks very cartoony and almost unnatural. This particular unit caught my eye. I believe it was a church. I'm not sure when it closed. I didn't really look into its own information. But what really caught my eye about it was how they covered up the awning simply by painting it, which, as you'll see later on, seems to be the number one choice of covering up past tenants in this plaza. This is the backside of one of the units that just seems to be having a bit of an identity crisis, and I can't really say with confidence what exactly occupies the space. I see signs for a place called Attic, Vaughn Sports Bar, Station, and Yuck Yucks. For years I've known this building as being Wendell Clark's and Yuck Yucks. However, that seems to have changed, and I can't exactly tell you when that happened. Because looking on the official website for the Interchange, it still lists Wendell Clark's as a tenant. And on their Instagram, as recent as August 29th, there was an ad for Wendell Clark's posted on there. But Wendell Clark's Vaughn is no longer listed on the official Wendell Clark's website. So it seems that in that time, something changed and Wendell Clark's is out. Station, Attic, and Vaughn Sports Bar is in. And while I was walking around here, I had a little chuckle to myself with the idea that nothing screams sports bar than a bunch of gaylords on a porch. That seems offensive, but those cardboard bins The technical term for them is a gaylord. I'll include a link to the Wikipedia article on bulk boxes so you can educate yourself and learn the history of why they are called that. Moving on, we see the confusion as to what occupies this space continue on. There's signs for Wendell Clark's, Yuck Yucks, and Berlin nightclub. A nightclub that I don't think has been in operation for years. I used to hear ads for it on the radio all the time. If I remember correctly, it was a 25 plus crowd, possibly a cougar bar, but I haven't heard anything about it in quite some time. Here we see some arcade games stored out on a patio. I don't know if they're from the previous tenants, current tenants, or possibly overstock from the Dave & Buster's across the parking lot. Here's the box office to the Yuck Yucks with a warning sign warning people headed in that some of the comedians may be offensive and too racy for some. So if you got offended by my little joke earlier, perhaps going to this Yuck Yucks isn't for you. An interesting note that I didn't realize that the Yuck Yucks, as of filming this, was closed. It wasn't until maybe 3 or 4 days later, a targeted ad on Instagram popped up and said, "Hey, come check out Yuck Yucks Vaughn grand opening this Saturday." Or sorry, grand reopening this Saturday. So if you're ever in the area, go check it out maybe. Go check out a show, unless you're easily offended. Coming up on what is now one of the bigger draws to the plaza, Ivy Nightclub. I think much like Berlin, it's billed as a mature crowd, i.e. being 25 plus or whatever. I hear ads for it on the radio all the time. I don't know too much about it. Sometimes I see Instagram posts from Tony Monaco advertising events that are coming up at Ivy nightclubs and appearances by himself. So perhaps if you're interested in that, head on over to Ivy nightclub and maybe meet Tony Monaco. Heading back to the mashup building, I just wanted to get a shot of this confusing scene where you see the awning for Berlin nightclub. I believe the door says The Loft. However, a large sign above it says The Attic. So, again, hard to tell what is in this building, and exemplifying how they seem to love just painting over awnings to rebrand things. Walking back through the plaza, I want to retouch on that surreal feeling I mentioned earlier. It really feels as though I'm walking through an abandoned amusement park as I venture forth through this plaza. Mainly because of the color palette and highly manufactured feel of the surroundings. But with no one around it, so it feels like I'm on the set of a spooky movie or a Scooby-Doo episode. While here, I maybe saw 5 people, 3 of which were employees of the Boston Pizza out for a smoke, and the other 2 was a couple sort of making their way, making out at different points throughout the plaza. Now we're coming up on a restaurant that really gives the place an amusement park feel. It's an Irish pub, but it looks like something where someone described the idea of an Irish pub to someone, and they went, what would an Irish pub inside of an amusement park or Disneyland look like? And this is what they came up with. I'd actually not realized this place was closed until I started to get up closer to it and noticed the missing sign, kind of disrepair of some of the area. And then I came upon the notice from the landlord locking the doors due to neglected payments, which was actually quite the surprise because I can recall as recent as the springtime seeing the sign for this restaurant off of Highway 7. It featured a large toucan, as well as the current whatever promotion they had going on. So it was quite surprising to see that it had shut down. And it seems like it was just without warning almost, because there's still menus on tables. Everything seems to be almost ready to go back into business, save for empty fridges that I guess they had the chance to go in there and clean them out to avoid any situations with bugs or raccoons making their way in. In preparation for this video, I did a little research on the Highway 7 Interchange, and I learned that the current owners of it are Quadreel. The company bills themselves as being laser focused on managing and growing BCIMC's portfolio. BCIMC being the British Columbia Investment Management Corp. That's quite the tongue twister. As for the future of the Interchange, I really hope things start to turn around for it. Now with the TTC station that will be opening up soon, as well as the dedicated bus lanes along Highway 7. And in addition to the several condo developments that are going up in the area. A funny thing is, I came across a condo ad for one build that listed the AMC Interchange Theater as being one of the draws to moving into that development. And that was posted in 2017. And as you've been learned in this video, that actually closed down in 2014. So I don't know where they're getting their information from or who's doing their research, but they really need to step up their game. So thank you for checking out this video, and no disrespect to Dan Bell and what he does, but I just thought I'd give this a little try, and thank you very much.